All right, boys and girls, we are ready to have a math review lesson today. We're going to learn and review all the things that we've been doing in multiplication this week. All right, so let's start with we just had groups. So let's say I had maybe this. You guys can't see that very good. Let me switch markers here. There we go. Let's try this again. And so our main focus this week was talking about really what multiplication means and what that X means in the middle of those problems. We talked about how it really means kind of at this point 3 different things. In this particular problem, it means groups of. So how many groups of what? Well, how many groups are there? 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of. How many in each group? 3 in each group. And how many altogether? 12 altogether. So that's where our multiplication problem would come from. We also have to be able to write this as repeated addition. So that would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals 12 altogether. Okay? All right. If you've got your border piece of paper, time for you to try this one. I'm going to draw you a picture, and then you're going to solve it on your board and see if you can get the right answer. All right, so pause it here. What I'm looking for is repeated adding and multiplication. And when you've got those two answers, unpause and check and see if you are right. Okay, so let's see what you came up with. For repeated addition, I take how many are in each group? 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2, and that's going to equal 10 altogether. For multiplication, how many groups of how many equals 10 altogether? So this was our first lesson, taking these kinds of problems, drawing out the picture, and then figuring out the repeated addition sentences. Okay, then we worked on number lines. So we had a given number line. Something like this. We talked about how there was like a little frog or a bunny or grasshopper or something that could jump really high here. And then they would give us a problem. Or story problem, and that X means jumps. So this particular problem wants me to do 3 jumps with 3 each time. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3 and land. I only did 1 jump. I'm supposed to do 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I end up at number 9. They also lead us to skip counting with this idea. So I could just skip count to do multiply. 3, 6, 9. All right, and that's how we used our number line. Finally, yesterday, we talked about arrays. And arrays means rows of And so we were given pictures that looked like this, where all the dots were now together in perfectly even rows. And to write the multiplication problem for this, we counted We connected the dots like this. And that tells me how many rows. I did that 3 times. And how many are in each connect the dot? There's 6 in each connect the dot, which gave me 18 altogether. Can also use skip counting here. I had 6 in the first row, and 6 more gives me 12, and 6 more gives me 18. Or I could use repeated addition. 6 plus 6 plus 6 equals 18. Okay? So we've got a very good, solid foundation of what multiplication is. We know that it is groups of things or rows of things or jumps of things. We know that we can solve it with pictures. We know that we can solve it with skip counting. We know that we can solve it with repeated addition. And eventually, we need to know that we can solve it just by using our brains within just a few seconds. All right, there are some directions on how to get to your Canvas assignment today. You're going into your Pearson Easy Bridge and you're going to complete the things that are in my work, which should be a playlist that contains 3 activities that you need to do. There are 5 questions in each activity. And when you complete your work, you're going to fly that airplane, click the airplane button, and fly that work right back to me so that I know you're all done. Okay, guys. Thanks for working really hard on multiplication this week. I hope your assignment today goes well.